Is everyone prepared to see the moon, mostly due to the fact that it appears to be right around the corner? To add insult to injury, I just purchased some XRP because, folks, it doesn't matter if it's 10 cents higher or 10 cents lower. Good morning, everyone. I really hope that you guys are having some incredible XRP around. It costs $2.09, which is really insane. It is almost as if the Black Swan event hadn't even been significant. Right, we had a rebound that seemed to be in the shape of a V out of there, and all of a sudden it appears to me that Donald Trump is incredibly bullish as we speak. He just sent out a tweet. Is it true that we are at last transitioning into our golden age? It would appear like the United States of America is going to make the same mistakes that have been made in the past, where we are about to enter this golden era and everything is going to skyrocket and perhaps the collapse is just around the corner, right? And then genuinely, once that time has passed, the era of wealth will be the most dominant. So are you all prepared to go? Do you agree? Guys, this is exactly what we have been looking forward to all along. We have been waiting for this day for a very long time, and all indications point to the fact that Arthur Brittle was the one who actually set this ball rolling. Do you agree? Simply because you should consider it. He had been gone for such a long time. Why did he return? More than 10 years. This is quite strange. So wouldn't you agree with me? In my case, it does. Guys, let us get started right now. The XRP community now has a fun element of XRP that they may participate in. Because of the additional P, this is referred to as white fascinating. It appears that he is implying or pointing to this gentleman. The Pool tweet will be from 6 to 7 o'clock, mister. The finish line was tweeted out by Pool. And you know what's remarkable about this picture is that it shows the actual finish line. Pay attention to the observation. I merely made sure that the camera angle was correct before taking the photo, people. It wasn't shot from a great distance. It was the exact same as the line. It is quite strange. Is it possible that we are at the finish line on this day, which is between 6 and 7 o'clock? Right, to tell you the truth, that wouldn't surprise me at all. And another fascinating thing about talking about racing is that this post was made precisely 589 days ago. At Ripple Riddler, the race is about to get underway. On this tweet, the message 1, 2, 3, go was posted 5, 8, and 9 days ago, and today is the day that we are going to cross that finish line. It appears that from today onwards we are likely to achieve that finish line here very soon. It is all about pricing, right? The XRP, $10, $20, $20, $500, $89, and $10,000. So what exactly may it be? Right, here we go. The Arthur Riddle was staring right at us. The 4 digits were validated in any way. How come? Once upon a time, kwon informed us that XRP will reach 4 digits, which would imply that it would move from 1,000 to 9,000, 900, 900. Okay, let's go with 4 digits. That's the range, gentlemen, in the number 13. Only on days 13 does it occur. However, would you be curious about the number 13? So here we are. Right from kwon and the riddles, Arthur Brittle is verifying that the same exact notion that other people have presented. Look at this, Arthur Brittle. 13 years after the XRP ledger was originally introduced. The XRP ledger was introduced for the first time in June of 2012, as you are aware. And Arthur Brittle just tweeted this in the same month that the XRP ledger was introduced to the public 13 years after that. For the reason why XRP moons in 13, which means that it would then move to 4 digits, he merely validated the number 13. Do you agree? Does it even make a difference if you purchase XRP at 50 cents to $2, $1, $10, or even $100 for that matter? Does it even matter if you buy it like that? That is not the case. Shouldn't it be obvious that the purchasing power you have decreases in proportion to the amount of XRP that you have, due to the fact that it is increasing while USC continues to remain steady? In other words, the higher the price of XRP increases, the fewer XRP you will be able to purchase with a certain amount of money, such as $1,000. Nevertheless, this is irrelevant because even if the price of XRP were to go to 4 digits from this point on, even if it were to be $10 per XRP, it would not be significant since the minimum price would still be $100. What about the amount of $2? Does anyone here understand what I'm talking about? For this reason, therefore, they urged us to keep going. Is that correct? Guys, don't give up hope just yet. Now allow me to fill you in on something that just occurred that is so strange. Is that correct? We are going to make the connections with the assistance of the XRP community because the time is so much more favorable than we had anticipated. I would appreciate it if you could like today's video. Now that we are aware of the significance of the number 13, is that correct? Do not forget that. However, it is the same day that Trump publishes the N-word that Breeder posts after 14 years. Take a look at this as we can see here. Is that correct, Donald Trump? Is it possible that I overheard the former president of Russia, Dmitry Medvedev, casually using the N-word, which is a nuclear weapon? All right, right now, can you tell me something that fascinates you about the letter N? What exactly is it? It is the 14th letter, right? All right. However, when it comes to this picture that is located right here in Templar Pigpen, what does n equal? Ax, that is rather peculiar. As a result, x occupies the location which is intended to be n, right? Within the covert organization. Would you be aware of something else that is fascinating? As a result, the number 14 is the overall result. Do you agree? Within the bear itself, the 14th position is the heart. Which is it that Arthur Brittle finally broke his silence after a period of 14 years. One more time, X, I'm sorry people, but this is X right here. This is in addition to the fact that below 14 it comes out to 6 and 7, which is again what 13, which moon was validated by Arthur Riddle, right? Since Boba Cucks and the Riddlers told us that the number 13 is the point at which XRP reaches 4 digits. Despite the fact that this is a little bit unclear, you guys are supposed to be able to comprehend what I am referring to here, right? Therefore, let's go through this one more. According to Boba Cucks, the value of XRP will reach 4 digits when it reaches 13. 13 years after the first deployment of the XRP ledger, Arthur Brittle made his return. Do you people comprehend what I'm saying? You do realize how important it is, right? Establishing a connection to the XRP ledger and the XRP ecosystem, as well as XRP directly. Following that, 13 from the bare 6, 7 on this very spot, which is connected to it. However, above 13 was 14, which is good enough for XRP. The letter N is the select pen in the Templar. To put it simply, you guys are aware of what is taking place here, isn't that strange? Not to mention the fact that Mr. Poole is also involved. Here we are once more, the heart. Does that seem a little bit unusual to you? Does it not seem a little bit strange to you? Does that not see? It is true that Arthur Brittle has confirmed that the moon is out there, one and only him coming back. Oh, hold on just a moment, Arthur is fragility. The fact that this comes out to 13 and the timing exactly corresponds to the precise day makes this a humorous situation, right? What I'm trying to say is it possible that this is a coincidence? Because it might be a complete coincidence, I don't believe that to be the case. It goes without saying that the bearable person or Brad Garlinghouse is also talking about them taking over 14% of Swift. Oh my goodness, Teresa Garlinghouse Brad, please allow me to make an effort to locate a video. And so I am not sure if I would be able to locate a video. The CEO of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, basically indicated that it is out there, but it is important to note that Swift is divided into 2 sections now, as the quote goes. Both messaging and liquidity are important. Liquidity is owned by the banks. When I think about message, I focus more on fluidity than anything else. It would be beneficial for XRP if you were the one driving all of the liquidity. For the next 5 years, I'll say 14%. Quote till end. Hold on, he didn't seem to see 15%. That is a really strange number. Do you agree? He did not mention 20%, 15%, 20%, or 25%. Do you agree? As if it were a psychological indicator. A very peculiar number, which is 14%, was distributed by him. That is both strange and correct, and it is connected to the issue of quick return to Swift individuals that additional people take over. According to him, the maximum amount of time is 5 years, which is 14%. To tell you the truth, I believe that by the next year, which is most likely going to be the year of collapse, I don't know, but take a look at that 14, 14, 14, 14 everywhere, which links to X, which connects to 13. So what exactly is going on? Because I find something to be somewhat peculiar. The coincidence. It is barely a few hours before the truce that Arthur Braddo makes his first post in 14 years. It is correct. The magnitude of this is considerably more than we know.